your beautiful studio. Let's talk about your art career. First of all, maybe you want to give us an introduction about yourself.
So my name is Orlando Darga, and I'm an Italian artist based in Shanghai. And I started to paint when I was 18, basically. And my parents are sculptors, so I grew up in the art world. And then when I was 18, I started to find my way to express myself through art.
Okay, so we're here in Shanghai, so can you tell us what brought you to Shanghai?
Actually, I study Oriental culture at the university in Urbino, so I major in Chinese language. That's why after the degree, when I was 23, I moved to Shanghai. Actually, the first 3 years I stayed in Nanjing, and then I moved from Nanjing to Shanghai. But now, after 8 years, I consider China like my second home. So I felt this attraction to come to China, and I just embrace it.
Okay, so my understanding is you came here as a student. Probably you could share with us, do you have some interesting culture observation, while you're staying here?
Yeah, for me, culture is everywhere. And what attracts me about China is that the different way of thinking, which is actually the philosophy is completely opposite to the Western philosophy, which is mainly based on the self-growth, while actually the Oriental philosophy, the Chinese philosophy, especially the Taoism, which I'm very interested, is mainly based on the flow, or being in contact, be at the right place with the nature and with the energy of the Tao. I think that China's culture is giving you another option, another point of view from interpreting everything is happening in my life. So for me, actually, China is a different way to interpret the world that surrounds me and also inspires me for my painting as well. So let's say I'm not choosing between China's culture or Western culture, I'm just keeping both. And sometimes I use one to deal with one particular situation in life, or sometimes I use the other one.
Okay, so I think what you bring up a very interesting point. It's not Western point of view or Chinese point of view. It doesn't have to be separated Western or Chinese view. It's just different way approach the world, right? So I think now is the time we need to talk about your work. You said that your experience at living here and studying here is give you the inspiration for your artwork, and then you talk about Tao. So can you introduce us one or two pieces that you get inspiration from the Chinese culture or Taoism?
Yes, especially about the Taoism, which is, as I say before, it's very interesting for me and a source of inspiration, especially for the painting full of emptiness. Where actually there is the aspect of the way of do not act, because sometimes we keep, let's say, fool ourselves with content, or we always try to control everything in our life, while actually the Taoism is teaching us that actually sometimes the best option is to do not act, or to do not do anything, and let just things flow, because they will find a natural place without you, let's say, trying to be the puppet master of trying to find everything the right place. Actually, just a flow with what surrounds you, and create and allow the emptiness in your life to be, and stick to that emptiness, because it's the most important part that we also have. So, for example, about the painting that I just explained, you can see the most important part of the painting is the empty space. So I put the 3 different layers and the connection of the 3 different wires, which represent the 3 main primary color, which actually, if combined, can make all the color in the world. So let's say I see that in every person there's different layers that sometimes we show to some people, or sometimes we don't show. but they're still present and are still inside of us. So in this painting, I try to dig and find the empty space inside the self and try to dig out the real me, let's say. From the other side, so this book is inspired by the Tao Te Ching, basically.
Right.
While actually I have another series with the Bagua, the 8 trigrams. It's coming from the I Ching.
Right.
So in here I have 2 8 trigrams. This one is the water one, and water is actually my element, let's say, because it's the introspection element, and where actually you can find the self in the deep water. And actually water is also a very important symbol in my life, because it's been trying to flow and try always to do not something that you cannot control, no? And that's also the creative process. It's very similar to water, no? So actually it keeps flowing, and actually you are able to stop it for a while and make an art piece. So for me, the 8 trigrams series I made is not because I'm an expert of I Ching. Of course, you cannot be expert of I Ching, it's oracle book, and so it's something that I use art in order to not explain what the I Ching is for me, but actually I use art to start a communication with the I Ching through art. So let's say there's no clear answer to that, but that's what is most important are the questions, not the answers, because I think recently in this society we just focus too much on the answers, and we want to explain everything and give simple answers that can be worth for everyone, but it's a completely illusion. For me, what is important is to focus on the questions and then find everyone different answer at different times. So that's my approach to the I Ching, let's say.
Okay, and I think it's very rare that we see foreign artists would be on the one side like so much focused on studying about the traditional Chinese philosophy, because even as the Chinese, we find the philosophy, the traditional Chinese philosophy is not quite easy to understand. And so I think sometimes it's not because you cannot only interpret from a literal perspective, but you also have to put the right context. I think the context is also very much relevant to our personal story, our personal experience. I think that is why I hope that you will have a great journey of this study I Ching and also other very rich Chinese philosophy. And I wish you all the best.
Thank you.